Welcome back to the Meaningful Success Podcast for the first time live in video. Yeah. Oh, and it's been a lot longer than we originally thought it was going to be for this to happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were expecting this to be back and going in July, and now we are here in September, mid-September at that.
Yeah, and we'll talk about why that was and just get caught up with you guys and everything shortly. But to start things off, though, Father,
Yes.
what is your win for this week?
My win for this week is simple. We're actually online. As you can see, I've got foam up here, and I've got stuff. I even got a light over here, and everything's going. So the win for this week is everything's set up, everything's ready to go, and we're actually online and getting started again.
Yeah, we're actually recording again. That's mine as well. It's been, yeah, like I said, long road to get here. So just some quick updates about, how this is going to work. We're obviously, this is going to be video from now on. We've finally gotten all that set up. And so this is going to be going live on YouTube and wherever else Acast, that is our podcast host right now, will let us put video. We're also going to be able to put clips on social media and things like that. That'll be fun. That'll actually, be worth looking at because they'll be video instead of just audio. So,
but the people who want to just listen to audio, that's still going to be available as well.
Yeah, of course. That's always an option. And then this is just sort of the enhanced experience, you could say.
The enhanced experience.
Yeah. So why don't you start us off a little bit just talking about how did this go from, hey, next week we're going to be on video to actually it's 2.5 months from now.
Yeah. The best laid plans, I guess, is one thing you said. We did let everybody know that one of the things that was going to be a major change for all of us is that we were moving. In fact, Siah and his wife and little Emma dog, they moved a couple of weeks before we did, but that was in June. So June was really spent doing primarily moving on both ends, and
for which we had recorded ahead of time.
Correct.
We had tried to build up a buffer, so we had a few weeks of buffer, but it didn't end up being enough.
And then we get to where we're moving, and unfortunately, my wife and I get sick for about 2 weeks, and so I wasn't up to doing it then. And then we had other things that, just life happens, and so we knew that we wanted to get things going on video, and so we kind of just slowly worked towards that end. I wish I could say that there's this whole litany of things as to why it didn't happen, but unfortunately, we let it slide in all reality from that standpoint.
There was other things. We on our end, we didn't get COVID, but we got COVID pretty much.
True.
All the tests were negative. We had a death in the family. One of our grandparents. That took a lot of stuff. Took a lot of emotional resources and energy for a while, as well as just logistical energy of the funeral and everything.
Yes. Actually, we've had a few relatives that we were needing to help out here and there from a health perspective. Some of our family there. So yeah, that's true. There were. Yeah. It's kind of hard to remember all the things that had happened between then and now. There were a lot of things.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been, really since we recorded, it's been approaching 3 months.
Yes.
So we had episodes going out, but that's because we had, like we said, a little bit of a backlog. But the point is, the bottom line is, regardless of all the reasons, we're back now. We're doing this again now. And it's hopefully just going to be better than ever now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So in this 3 months or whatever it's been since we've actually recorded together, what kind of thoughts or what revelations or anything you might want to share about your success journey things you're figuring out or whatever.
Well, it's interesting, because before we even had this hiatus, I was I had started a sabbatical from a creative standpoint, and when I say that, I'm still doing my work, my job, my 9 to 5, and
Hmm.
things like that. But I am taking a break from my writing and things of that nature. And quite frankly, it's not even the writing; it's the editing and that whole process. There's a whole
Yeah.
part that goes into that, and that in and of itself took me probably 2 or 3 months to even get to a point where I was even realizing that I was not doing it, because you
Yeah.
get in such a grind or such a attitude from that perspective. So one thing for me was just that is that it took me a period of time from that, uh, which I didn't realize how long it would take for me to even, for lack of better terms, decompress
Yeah.
on that end. But then from there, the other thing that I would say that I'm really thoughtful about, you all know that this podcast is stemming from the work that we're going to be doing with the book, A Meaningful Success, and a huge part of that book is really helping everyone understand what your mission and your vision is. And one of the things we talk about in that book, that's going to be forthcoming, is that your mission, generally speaking, doesn't change a lot. I mean, because it's really what defines success for you,
Yeah.
but your vision can, and that is more like how that mission is realized, how you live it out, what it entails, because there's a lot of different ways that you can approach that. And over the last few months, there's been several things that I've been questioning, because I mean, it's all written out. I mean, it's part of the book. I mean, what my mission and vision and those types of things are. And I've really been second guessing, maybe not the right word, reevaluating is probably a better word, some of
Hmm.
those vision elements. What place writing, what place speaking, what place music, what place various things like that have for me in my passion, what, travel, other things like that. And so for me, that's probably one of the things I will say, and we'll get into some of those things in forthcoming episodes or that kind of thing. But for me, that's been something, first taking a few months to decompress, and then from there,
Yeah.
um, realizing that some of those things that I thought I really wanted to chase, maybe not so much, and maybe there's some other things I want to chase more.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes
How
sense.
about you?
I've had a few sort of revelations that I will probably share in upcoming episodes, just about the sorts of mindsets and just sort of ways I was stuck in my line of thinking, um, about success and about my career and success journey and things like that, that
Hmm.
I've been. Uh, so, for example, one big one we'll talk about in an upcoming week is setting goals. I have a history of setting goals which I don't have complete control over, really.
Mm.
Um, and instead of setting goals that are entirely based on my input, uh, they're based on, something ethereal, something out of my control, something from other people. So
Right.
for example, like setting a goal of like, oh, I want to sell a bunch of books, right? Like I have some control over that in the sense of I can advertise, I can,
You have
get,
influence, you don't have control.
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Um, Whereas I want to write X number of books, that is something I have entire control over. And
Hmm.
and so I think that there's an important distinction there, and get more into that in a future episode and everything.
Hmm.
But um, I've had a number of just realizations. I can't think of all of them at the moment, but things like that over the last few months. It's been challenging because it's one thing to have, realizations and revelations. It's another thing to learn how to put these things into practice, and how to hang on to them once you've got them, and not just sort of forget about them. Like you have a week of like, oh, I'm so hyped up because I've had this big realization, and then just sort of fades away, you know?
Well, also just acknowledging that it actually has legitimacy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's, for me, some of these revelations are, it's what I think about when I'm taking my daily walk or run, or it's something I should think about in the shower, or I'm washing dishes, and
Hmm.
these recurring themes keep coming back to mind. And it's really easy sometimes to kind of blow them off to some degree, just thought, but to realize, there's something here that I need to be really looking into, or really need to really consider, and giving legitimacy, giving place to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, any big news or just things you're excited about sharing in your life?
Yeah, I've expressed on previous shows that music is a big draw for me, but it's by course of circumstance, whether it be work or all the creative efforts that I've been done, it really took a back burner. I mean, I'd have my guitars on my wall, but they rarely come down. And I've actually started spending more time listening to music. I've spent more time picking up my guitar here and there. I've spent more time actually singing, which honestly, that's a scary thing because when I was younger, I had a decent singing voice, but over the last 5, 8 years, it's like I can't sing a note. It's kind of been really
Hmm.
bad, but I've allowed myself to sing in the car or whatever, or sing when I'm just by myself or whatever like that, or in the kitchen washing dishes and stuff. And I've actually started slowly to get my voice back. So for
Mm.
me, it's actually allowing myself time to get back into some things that were there. So that's kind of big news for me. I mean, the fact that I can actually sing a note and not make myself want to cry how bad it is. That's something. Another thing is from a family perspective, we are actively contemplating and saving for a dog. We haven't decided the breed yet. It's probably going to be a poodle mix, but we're actively saving for a dog right now, and hope to be getting one in the next couple months here or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for us. Actually, we found a church that we're enjoying. It's kind of interesting because we had visited yours and Audrey's church, and they kind of have a sister church here in where we're living, and we visited there, and we've been going for about a month now and enjoying that
Oh, I
there.
didn't know that. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a few things.
Yeah. On my end, I've started up my newsletter for real this time again.
Yep.
It's been a couple weeks since I've updated it because of getting sick and things like that.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I
it's
saw that on
been,
Patreon.
yeah, but it's been really nice to have that again. And sort of, I've been using Substack, which is a specific website that's sort of like a blog slash
Hmm.
newsletter hybrid sort of thing. And it's nice because I don't know why it just fits me better. Because it feels like an actual platform I'm posting to rather than
Right.
because sending a newsletter email a little bit feels like just sort of throwing something out into the void, and because you don't see it in any tangible way after the
Mm-hmm.
fact, but having it be like a post on Substack that also is sent out, like, I don't know, it
Mm.
feels different. It feels like I'm building something up a little more than
Yeah.
past attempts at newsletters and stuff. So I've been enjoying doing that. So
Excellent. Excellent.
yeah. So, well, what were you gonna say?
Oh, no, I wasn't aware of that. That's really cool.
Yeah. So I know it's a little bit of a shorter one this time, but we were just mainly trying to get things started. Took us
Yeah.
like half an hour just to make sure we had worked through all the technical issues with the video side and
Yes.
everything
Why
like
is my
that.
camera not working? Why is your mic not working right? Yeah.
Right, right. But we've got all that sorted now. So hopefully next week it'll be a little bit faster, a little bit easier to just jump into the recording. But before we wrap things up, you guys know we have a tradition around these parts, and that is a weekly favorite.
Oh, it's the weekly favorite.
Actually, I've got two weekly favorites, but they're tied together because we had my wife's aunt over. She's a sweet lady. She's 90 years old, and we invited her over for dinner and to watch a movie. So we had homemade chicken pot pie, which was one of my favorites, which was awesome. And we watched John Wayne's breakthrough movie Stagecoach from like
Oh
1938 or
yeah,
1939 or something like that.
yeah,
So that was my weekly favorite. We had a good time, good food, good company. It was great.
yeah.
And for
Um,
you,
my weekly favorite was you know how when you move somewhere, you get sent just a bunch of coupons for various
yeah,
places, right? So there's a local pizza chain. Well, I say local. I hadn't heard of it until we moved out here. So maybe it's local, maybe it's not. But it's
okay,
called Marco's Pizza.
okay, I've
And
heard of it.
yeah, and so we had a coupon for it, and so we ordered pizza takeout, which we very, very rarely do. Like we outside of just being with friends, we haven't done that in years. And it was very good pizza. And it also it was like $25 for two large pizzas, and it lasted us for like 3 days for or like
Wow.
three meals or something like that. Like it was a lot of food, and it was also really good. So that was my
So
weekly
so
favorite.
what made it really good? Was it the toppings or was it the crust or everything or what was it?
Yeah, I mean, just I don't know. It was just it was like high quality. Like you order mushrooms on your pizza,
Yeah,
and they're actually like real mushrooms that like
not
they
something that
look
came out
like
of a can.
well, yeah, it looks like, hey, someone like cut these up and put them on here rather than, like some of the lesser quality ones where it's just sort of this little brown circle on the pizza,
Right.
like it's everything, the ingredients felt really fresh and good. And it was just, I don't know. We were both super impressed with it. We both really liked it a lot. So
That's great. That's great.
yeah.
We enjoyed the pizza when we went and visited you guys. We enjoyed the pizza that we had out there too. Or actually, I didn't have pizza. Y'all did. I had a sub sandwich. It was really good.
Yeah. We went to, what was the name of it again? I
It's a
can't
restaurant.
remember.
It's in this town, and there's a restaurant with a name, and it's got two different restaurants next door to each other.
Yeah,
And
that
it's
is
the
the
same company.
Yeah,
It's very confusing.
If I remember it, I'll put it in the show notes. But most likely, I'm just gonna forget, and I won't do that. So, uh, I live in Austin, so just figure it out. All right. Okay, so thank you for listening / watching, everybody.
Yeah. And we really do appreciate it. We're looking forward to kind of getting things going again, and we'll see kind of where things go, where our discussions lead. But we hope you have a great week. And Siah, hope you have a great week. And tell Audrey and Emma hi, and we will talk to you a little later.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
This violet sky, I see.
The Meaningful Success Podcast is myself, Siah, and my father,
That's me. Wade.
Wade. Music is Brings Back the Feeling by Daniel Gunnarsson, licensed through Epidemic Sound. What else do we normally say? It's been so long.
Don't forget to, if you have some ideas for the show, you want to share something with us, you can go to, I can't remember the website. Damn, it's
Speakpipe. Speakpipe.com/MSP. Speakpipe.com/MSP. And you can leave us a digital voicemail and we can listen to those and possibly use your voice clip in a future episode of the show. Until next time, I can't think of anything else to say. So, bye.
Go enjoy some pot pie. See ya.